Are not all things ordained by God? Is living like we have free will not a sin, diminishing the glory of God?
Say that again. The last part is...
I'll read the whole question again. Why do we live and act as though we have free will?
Yep.
Are not all things ordained by God? Is living like we have free will not a sin, diminishing the glory of God?
No. The last part is living like we have free will, not diminishing the glory of God. That's a legitimate question.
Yes. So when you read this question earlier, you mentioned...
Yeah. So
go ahead.
So I said to you before, when you brought that question up, because I was wondering if it was real, 10 years ago, I would only expect to hear that question from a Muslim, because that presumes more like, that presumes that God is more like the God of the Quran than the God of the Bible.
What is the God of the Quran like?
He's like that. He's basically, there is no free will. You have no option with him other than what he decrees, and his nature isn't love by precedent. It's
I don't really fully understand the question.
I think so. Let's start at the beginning then. So do we not, what is it?
So I was taught we have a free will to do bad. We don't have a free will to do good.
So, can I see it?
Yes. It's right at the top there.
Okay. Why do we live and act as though we have free will? Well, you do have free will. So, and are not all things... So this presumes that every single detail of our lives are decreed by God.
Yeah.
But Scripture doesn't teach that.
Okay.
Like a case in point would be...
so it didn't here,
God,
drop this pen.
Sure.
That God didn't have that plan from eternity that I would do that?
No. And the laws of gravity will tell you that will always happen, and the table will stop it.
Yeah.
So God doesn't need to intervene there in any way unless, for some reason he sees that he does. But let's go back here. So are not all things ordained by God? No, they are not. And there's cases in Scripture that tells you, for example, God says the opposite of this. There's a place in Jeremiah where God says to Israel or Judah, you guys have gotten so wicked that you're not just worshiping idols and erecting altars to Baal, but you're burning your children at those altars. And you've come up with that on your own. It's not one of my commands. I didn't decree it. It didn't even enter my mind. So here's behavior where God is saying, that did not come from any place that's holy. You came up with that. So here's God saying, I did not decree that behavior. Case in point. There's countless places like that, But so do we have free will? Yes. There's constantly God is telling someone, choose me. Ezekiel is the whole dialogue with the prophet Ezekiel is God saying, if a righteous man chooses to stop being righteous, then he will not get any credit for the righteousness of before. And if a wicked man chooses to stop being wicked, I will give him credit for the choice that he makes to not be wicked anymore. So that's Ezekiel 33 and chapter 3. So do we have free will? Yes. Is it a sin to use your free will? Only if it's to violate God's holiness.
And before you're saved, do we have a free will to do good?
Yeah. People can do good, but they can't be good. Why? Do you object to that? No. And if you do... how do you... Yes.
So I would have been taught growing up, we have a free will to do bad. We don't have a free will to do good. But I like your answer that we can do good. We can help the neighbor, but that doesn't mean
but you
we
can't
are
be
good. Yeah.
Which is what God says to Israel. God says, when they go wicked, God says, you bring all of these sacrifices to me and you worship me with your lips, which was a command. So you're doing all of these things that are good things to do, but your heart is far from me. So he's saying, yeah, what you're doing, I did technically command you to do.
Yeah.
But you're not actually good.
Just behavior modification, checking boxes.
There you are. You and Gary talk about that stuff all the time.
All the time.
In between when he's checking his cows for girth so that he can bring the milk to market and turn a substantial profit upon which he'll reluctantly tithe.
I love this.
I make fun of him.
I love
all
this.
the time.
Okay. What else you got? Those are the notes I got. We're almost at we're at a half hour here. You got anything you want to talk about? Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, bringing the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.